You know, you come up with some great ideas sometimes, but in the cold light of day, well, welcome to the 120 challenge. I've got 120 minutes, yes, 2 hours to turn up to a fishery, tie the flies that I'm going to fish with, and then go onto the water and catch a fish. Remember, all the time I spend at the vice is time lost on the bankside. So it's a fine balancing act. This week's venue is Big Well Fly Fishery in Redbrook near Monmouth. It has 3 lakes and it's regularly stocked with fish between 2 and 12 pounds. And the top lake is the clearest crystal watered lake I've seen in a long time. I've decided my plan of attack, so it's down to the vice and start the clock. Is it started? It has, oh God, right. Okay, I've decided to tie first the F fly, an olive F fly, and the reason for this is that I saw a lot of fish cruising in the top lake close to the surface, and I also saw the odd fish taking off the top. The second one is my favourite stalking bug of a hare's ear, but normally I'm tie it with a gold head, but this time because the water was so clear and the sun was bright, I decided on a duller white bead so it wouldn't spook the fish. And the last one, well, I had to choose a lure, so I decided on a Montana nymph. It was with a tungsten bead, so it allowed me to explore all the depths and get those fish chasing. 3 flies tied, now to set the rods up. Now, I argued that I should have been allowed to put these rods up before the time started, but I was told no. So 1 rod rigged up, floating line, stalking bug on. Let's get up to the gin lake. You can see the lake. Problem is, everybody can see all the fish can see you. They've probably seen every fly under the sun, but they ain't seen mine yet. Seeing all those fish, you can get lost in the moment. What I'm doing is I'm targeting one particular fish. The problem is every time that fly drops on the water, they just swim away. Cast again, another fish. What I am trying to do now is setting a trap. Put the cast 2-3 yards further up than the fish that I'm targeting and allowing the flow, even though this is a lake, there's a big flow going through it and it's pushing my fly down to the fish. Unfortunately, fish after fish came up to the fly, turned away. It was very, very frustrating. I tried some different retrieves by short, sharp, jerk retrieves, figure of 8s, tweaking it. The odd fish would follow for a yard or 2, then decide to turn away. And at this point, I thought, shall I go back to the lodge and retie a smaller fly? But suddenly, a couple of fish rose. Now that means I've got the F fly in my box. That went on. So I cast and cast and cast. And as every fisherman knows, put the dry on. What happens? Nothing rises. I might be back into the nymph in a minute. Right, 3 fish. Oops. Let's get over there. Oh, ah! So it was back to the nymph. There it is, white-haired hare's ear. At this point, I wasn't sure which fish to cast at, and I was just dangling my fly near the bank, and boy, the sticklebacks loved it. Unfortunately, their mouths weren't big enough to get the hook in. So to my left, there was a lot faster water where the spring was feeding the lake. It was rougher, it gave me more cover, and it also gave the fish less time to inspect the fly. I can still see shadows moving, so I can target a few fish. Couple of casts, tweaked it around, and lo and behold, fish on. There we go, job done. Challenge complete within 40 minutes. Now, if you know of a fishery that would be great for the 120 challenge and would test my skills, well, email us at fieldsportschannel.tv or post a comment or suggestion on our Facebook page.